got Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje.
The highlight.
The highlight. Okay, no TB nicknames necessary. We got Attaboy or Attaman, Fiziev. Yeah, so there we go. I mean, listen, Fiziev, I think we've all seen, I mean, the dude has a tough time holding an extremely high pace over extended periods. He's great at managing his distance, picking his shots, landing when he wants to, skirting away. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, you look at the pure stats. I mean, Gaethje is throwing more, he's landing more, but his opponents have just been at such an absurd, ludicrous 18 strikes per minute at distance pace against Justin Gaethje. And when he's not facing that, he's facing the wrestling and grappling of guys like Khabib and Charles Oliveira. So ultimately, when it comes down to it, I mean, if you gave me Fiziev at his opener on Bovada at
minus 115, pick
him. Minus 115, minus 110, I was like, oh fuck. But I never got that line. I used DraftKings, I used FanDuel.
You're illegal. So you're a legal eagle.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, listen, if this was a 5-round fight and I'm expecting Fiziev to not, his one career loss. Oh, that's interesting. Magomed Mustafayev spinning, kick knockout. Okay. He gets knocked out twice in that fight, though. It wasn't, maybe the UFC debut jitters facing an athletic, explosive guy like that. But, I've seen his chin get tested. Or is this like the Islam Makhachev thing, where like, oh, it happened once. It's just not going to happen again. But we have seen it. So you give me Gaethje now at plus 190. You give me like Gaethje knockout numbers. And now I'm starting to get like at least a little curious about it, like I think there's at least some value inherently on that line, unless Justin Gaethje's washed and is getting finished early. I mean, otherwise, I understand if you're on Fiziev by like decision, maybe he lands the bigger shots, maybe he's fleeter of foot, 4 years younger at this point. He's got a slight reach advantage, but Gaethje's going to be the taller guy. I'm not expecting him to wrestle. I'm not a fucking idiot. I mean, like,
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to put that out in the air. I mean, I really haven't seen him
attempt
0.15 takedowns attempted per 15 minutes. You can't expect it to happen.
0.15 attempted. That's a tenth of a takedown attempted per fight. It's not happening. And if anybody's betting on it, oh, it's even on the feet, he just needs to wrestle. Stop it. Don't do it. It's not part of this fight. So that's one of the reasons, which is something that we just talked about right off air. And it's one of the reasons why I'm like kind of just maybe staying away from this fight in general, as much as it rips my heart out of my chest to say. I kind of, maybe it's because I made money the last time. We bet Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. We bet that fight to start round 3. We bet that fight goes the distance. We cashed both tickets. I bet Justin Gaethje by decision, Justin Gaethje by unanimous decision. I mean, it was a great night for that. And part of me really wants to get there. I really want to, but part of the reason why I felt like the Chandler fight got there was because some of the breaks in the grappling department. And I don't know that these guys are taking any breaks. I don't know that Gaethje's smart enough to stand there and be patient at all. And if Fiziev is feeling himself, I don't know that he will be patient. So, again, part of me really wanted to handicap this fight to start round 3 at even money, and fight to go the distance at plus money, and then maybe with that type of fade the narrative mindset, like maybe not the full fade the narrative of the dog winning, but maybe Fiziev wins the decision. But now I'm just like, again, after really thinking about the no breaks, the no chance of the grappling, I'm just kind of away from the fight in general. I'm maybe somebody like Andrew can. I look to Andrew, and I honestly wanted to shout out somebody like Dan Tom, who's end of the week articles I go to read, and when I have all my thoughts in space, somebody honestly smarter than me can just spell it out with a little clarity, and I'm like, yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yes, that's what I'm looking at, and that's what I like. So maybe Andrew can provide at least me with some of that insight. I'm sure he's going to give you guys something good too.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny seeing the takedown attempt. Like, I don't really look at stats too much, but I'm like just looking at them as they're on the screen right now. And the fact that Fiziev attempts more takedowns over 15 minutes than Gaethje is just so funny, because Fiziev was like a Muay Thai guy and Gaethje was a former Division I college wrestler, which is just funny. I think Fiziev's going to win here. I think he's better technically. He's bigger, which is another thing I haven't really seen people mentioning. Like, I honestly think with the right cut, Gaethje could probably make 145. He's a small 155er. Fiziev's going to probably be 10, 15 pounds bigger than him in there. Gaethje's taken way more damage over the years. Fiziev hasn't really had those bad losses. Like, I say bad, I don't mean bad losses like they look bad on
Wars, just
like,
wars.
Wars, yes, exactly. Gaethje, 4 years older, getting up there at 34. I think this is a tough stylistic matchup for him. I think Fiziev's going to either knock him out or win a clear decision.
Yeah.
So,
I
so you
totally
just
get
like, so you just kind of like the money line in general. Like, don't get too cute. Just play a winner.
Yeah, I very rarely am playing props in general, but in this case, yeah, I think Fiziev. I think he's going to be the better minute winner. I think he has more finishing upside, so I think money line is probably the way to go.
Yeah. Gaethje will probably be swinging super wild.
That makes sense.
If I had to guess. So,
Yeah, it's funny because even if he's not swinging super wild, it's like, okay, is he going to out kickbox Fiziev in like a technical kickboxing match?
No,
right.
With,
it seems
not
like
without any sort of wrestling threat or cage
Right.
press. No, nothing. No.
the technical boxers like Poirier, Alvarez, even like Tony Ferguson, who has some volume and some reach, were guys that were able to put the pace and actually land in volume on them. So maybe I got to start getting off that Gaethje idea. It does make sense in general that way, and I think Gaethje's only path is finding a finish, and I think it would have to be if Fiziev slows down, but I can't count on that. What, 3-round fight, right?
Yeah, but Mushroom's calling for the body shot in round 2 by
I can see
Fiziev.
it. I could see a body shot finish for sure. Gaethje just kind of seems like he doesn't like getting hit to the body.
Interesting.
He
doesn't quite have that physique. Yeah, he definitely looks like a sloppy 155.
Jesus, he just
says the fat turd over here.
But I just feel like he's one of those guys that just like doesn't have those like either Adonis genes or those Flintstone vitamins. I don't know what his deal is. He's just not cut like that.
I respect
it. But I love those stats too. I mean, so Fiziev is let's just look. So Fiziev he's landed 2 takedowns, one versus Gaethje and one versus Alex White. So that makes him that puts him as more takedowns landed than Justin Gaethje.
That's terrible.
That's really poor.